I never expected that when my grandfather asked me to choose one of the Johnson brothers for marriage, I would pick Ethan, Caleb's older brother. Everyone knew I had been Caleb's shadow since childhood. I once made myself deathly ill, begging to marry him with my life. I smiled bitterly, remembering my past life. On our wedding day, Caleb ran away with Lily, the girl my family had been supporting, declaring he would marry no one but her. I stood there in the wedding dress I had dreamed of for so long, utterly humiliated. Only then did I realize he had agreed to marry me just to get revenge at the wedding. After being reborn, I started avoiding him at every turn. Later, when his brother Ethan held me in his arms and kissed me until my lips were swollen, Caleb, who had always looked down on me, suddenly lost control of his emotions. After setting the wedding date, I started preparing things we'd need for the ceremony. I didn't expect to run into Caleb and his friends at the mall, coming out to play and still keeping such a close eye on her. "Caleb, you're watching your woman way too tightly," his friend teased, causing Caleb to frown in annoyance. "She's not my woman." "Say that again and also your mouth shut." Caleb spotted me from afar and walked over, clearly displeased. "Arya, when will you give it a rest? Why do you have to follow me everywhere I go? You forced the elders to tie us together. Now everyone knows you're marrying into the Johnson family. Are you satisfied now?" I stayed silent for a moment, my expression calm. "I'm not trying to tie myself to you. You've misunderstood." His emotions suddenly flared up as he gripped my wrist tightly, causing pain. "Then why are you here? Aren't you just stalking me?" I shook off his hand, instinctively rubbing my reddened wrist as I explained. "I'm here to prepare things for the wedding. I didn't expect to run into you." Seeing our unhappy expressions, his friends quickly gathered around. "Preparing for the wedding? Caleb, marrying her sure is convenient. You don't have to prepare anything yourself." Caleb glared at the speaker without responding. "Arya, don't think that just because our families arranged this marriage, you can use these tactics to get me. Even if you get my body, you'll never have my heart. I despise manipulative, vicious women like you the most." His eyes were cold, his voice suppressing anger. But I felt nothing, only wanting to escape this troublesome situation. I looked up and met his gaze calmly. "Who wants your heart? Don't flatter yourself. I won't be marrying you either." Hearing this, Caleb's face immediately fell. "How can you still deny it at this point? You've always used every trick to force me to marry you. Now that you've finally succeeded, you're saying you won't marry me." His friend bumped his shoulder. "Caleb, can't you tell? The little lady is just mad at you. She's saying that out of anger. She's personally out choosing things for the wedding. How can she be happy when you're being so cold and sarcastic to her?" Caleb's expression finally softened a bit. He stared at me with a complex look, finally forcing out a sentence after a long pause. "I'll show up for the wedding on time, but like I said, don't expect me to ever like you." Suddenly there was a sound of something dropping behind us. Caleb and I turned to see Lily standing there in shock, wearing a cute sundress. She was the foster child my family had been supporting. With poor health, she was a frequent hospital patient. My mother felt bad about her poor living conditions and took her in to live with us. She was now dressed up like a delicate doll, with fluttering eyelashes over watery eyes. Caleb immediately let go of me and rushed over to her. "Lily, let me explain. It's not what you think." Lily covered her face and ran off, not giving him a chance to explain. Everyone dispersed unhappily after Lily left. Before leaving, Caleb threatened me harshly. "If Lily gets upset over this, I won't let you off easy." I laughed mockingly, for a moment doubting if the childhood friend I grew up with had been possessed by someone else. After that whole scene, I lost interest in continuing to shop and went home early. It wasn't until evening that Caleb brought Lily back. He was carrying bags of things, with his driver following behind carrying several boxes. The boxes were filled with expensive fruits and imported snacks. It was clear Caleb had bought a lot to appease Lily. When they came in, I was curled up on the couch watching TV. I deliberately didn't look Caleb's way, but he came over on his own. At first he didn't speak, just pursing his lips as if waiting for my reaction. But I kept my eyes fixed on the TV, not even glancing his way. "Arya, you clearly saw me bring in all these things. Why didn't you come help?" I gave him an indifferent look. "Why should I help you? The stuff wasn't bought for me. What does it have to do with me?" His expression darkened. "If you want something, just say so. If word gets out that my fiancé is so desperate for a few trinkets, people will laugh at me." Caleb completely ignored what I'd said at the mall. I couldn't be bothered to keep emphasizing to him that I wouldn't marry him. He'd understand completely on the wedding day. Caleb casually picked up a box of blueberries and tossed it next to me. Due to the force, the box bounced off the couch and fell to the floor. "A reward for you. Don't say I mistreat you." I looked down at the box of blueberries, but had no desire to pick it up. Because if I did, I'd be like a begging dog, eagerly accepting Caleb's handouts. I don't need that kind of charity. I curled my lips in a cold smile. "You're quite at home in my house. Don't you have any sense of being a guest? Don't embarrass your family's upbringing. We'd grown up together and were certainly familiar with each other's homes." I'd never said such insulting words before. Caleb's face turned red with anger. He looked at me like he wanted to eat me alive. My parents weren't home yet, and the staff were busy with their own tasks. Only Caleb, Lily, and I were left in the living room. Caleb acted like I didn't exist, pressing Lily against the wall and giving her a quick kiss. He murmured, "Lily, in the future if anything upsets you, just tell me directly. Don't let it hurt your health." Lily's coquettish voice reached my ears. I know. Caleb always treats me the best. As Lily responded to him, the two started kissing passionately, their intimate sounds making one blush. I turned off the TV and walked around the couch, deliberately taking a path farther from them to reach the stairs, intending to return to my room. When I was halfway up the stairs, Caleb suddenly opened his eyes, remembering there was another person present. He instinctively pushed Lily away. Lily didn't notice his change, just reluctantly ending the kiss. Finally, Lily looked up at me, her eyes full of provocation and disdain, as if showing off her victory. Back in my room, I received a message from Lily. Sister, even though Caleb promised you a wedding, the title of Mrs. Johnson will only ever be mine. Arya, whatever outcome you got in your past life, you'll get the same this life. You can't beat me.